Since 1952, The Today Show has come into our homes every morning with its weird mix of heavy news and airy banter. But it's also served up some seriously cringe-worthy coverage over the years. Let's crack open the vault and take a fresh look at some of today's most uncomfortable interviews ever. Kate Gosselin stopped by Today in 2014 with her two oldest daughters, then 13-year-old twins Kara and Maddie, to clear the air about how their family reality show John and Kate Plus 8 had affected them. Billed as Growing Up Gosselin, the interview was meant to explore how the girls viewed their own childhood, aside from the media portrayal. Anchor Savannah Guthrie first asked Maddie how she and her family were doing.
Maddie, your words.
It's hard. It's a hard question.
Maddie continued to blank, so Guthrie tossed a question to Maddie's sister.
What about you, Kara?
A flustered Kate took over, adding that she didn't want to speak for the girls. Then Guthrie gave Kara another chance to answer a question.
Do you think people had the wrong impression of you guys, Kara?
My gosh.
Kate did most of the talking for the rest of the segment, yet insisted that her daughters had agreed to do the interview. This was, in her words, the most wordless she'd heard them all morning. When Kate urged her daughter to repeat what she had previously said in a magazine interview, Maddie refused. Oddly enough, they claimed to love being on TV.
Would you guys want to do another TV show if you could?
Yeah.
Things got testy in a 2005 interview with Tom Cruise when Matt Lauer mentioned actress Brooke Shields. There's a bit of a backstory. Cruise already had a public spat with Shields, who praised antidepressants for helping her recover from postpartum depression. According to Hollywood.com, Cruise went on record saying that women should use vitamins for postpartum depression instead of prescription drugs, prompting Shields to retort, "Cruise should stick to saving the world from aliens and let women decide what treatment is best." So when Cruise came on Today to promote War of the Worlds, Lauer asked him about the whole Brooke Shields thing, and Cruise's mood totally changed. Insisting that psychiatry is a pseudoscience, Cruise went on a rant about antidepressants.
There is no such thing as a chemical imbalance.
So postpartum depression to you is kind of a little psychological gobbledygook?
No.
He went on to say that, quote, drugs aren't the answer.
Aren't there examples where it works?
Matt, you're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is.
This war of words lasted a full 5 minutes.
You should be a little bit more responsible in knowing
I'm not prescribing Ritalin, Tom, and I'm not asking anyone else to do it.
Well, you are. You're saying no.
I know some people who seem to have been helped by it.
Oh, and one more nugget of awkward. Cruise's then-girlfriend Katie Holmes was seated just off stage. After Matt Lauer was fired from Today in 2017 due to allegations of sexual harassment, an interview with Sandra Bullock made the rounds online due to its severe ick factor. When Bullock visited Today to promote her film The Proposal, Lauer seemingly couldn't wait to bring up her nude scene. He opened the interview by mentioning that she hadn't been on the show in 2 years, and then added,
"Major thing that's changed since you were here last?
Yes.
I have now seen you naked."
Bullock kept her game face on as an amused Lauer continued on about the nudity.
You're naked for most of this movie.
I still
It's a long stretch.
I'm not naked for most of this. Emotionally naked.
Bullock even called him out for having wandering eyes during the interview.
Why are you looking down?
It's now my screensaver.
Why did you look down when you said that?
I was looking at my notes.
Not your notes are right over here.
They were right there.
That would be this.
They were right there.
The two continued to banter about the nude scene, and about a minute and a half into the interview, Lauer finally started to ask regular questions. Still, he ended their conversation like this.
Did I mention you have a nude scene in this movie?
Pretty much from the time you opened your mouth. Yeah.
Sandra Bullock. Come back more often.
No, not after this interview.
When Craig Melvin sat down to interview former U.S. President Bill Clinton, he brought tough questions. First, Melvin reminded Clinton that in the Me Too era, some say he should have resigned after the scandal involving his affair with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. Then Melvin asked if the former president looks at his past actions differently through the lens of Me Too. Clinton immediately went on the offensive and painted himself as a victim, saying that he left the White House $16 million in debt.
You typically have ignored gaping facts in describing this, and I bet you don't even know them.
Clinton went on to describe all the positive things he's done for women, claiming that, quote, 2/3 of the American people sided with him during the Lewinsky scandal. When Melvin asked if he had apologized to Lewinsky, Clinton emphasized that while he never talked to Lewinsky directly, he did apologize publicly. Melvin then asked if he thought he owed Lewinsky a private apology. At this point, Clinton was clearly getting hot under the collar.
You think President Kennedy should have resigned? Do you believe President Johnson should have resigned? Someone should ask you these questions because of the way you formulate the question.
Clinton later told the Late Show host Stephen Colbert that the Today interview wasn't his finest hour.
And it looked like I was saying I didn't apologize and I had no intention to, and I was mad at me.
Everything started off nicely when Oscar winners Jane Fonda and Robert Redford appeared on Today with Megyn Kelly in 2017. First, Kelly praised Fonda for aging, quote, beautifully and with strength. But when Kelly asked Fonda about getting plastic surgery, the vibe took a nasty turn.
You're not proud to admit that you've had work done. Why not? We really want to talk about that now?
Fonda quickly took control of the interview, diving straight into a discussion about the film she was promoting. Later, in an interview with Hoda Kotb and Savannah Guthrie, Fonda mocked the whole situation. Sitting with Lily Tomlin to promote their Netflix series Grace and Frankie, Fonda said that she'd known Tomlin for 50 years. And Tomlin joked that they met before Fonda's first facelift.
Who are you, Megyn Kelly? Oh, that's right. I forgot she was right.
After Kelly got fired from Today, Fonda said she wished her the best.
I wanted her to make it. I did. That's always how everyone learns, is through making mistakes.
Kelly, however, told Us Weekly that the Fonda interview was one of her biggest regrets of her first year on Today, saying, "I certainly wish I hadn't put on Jane Fonda. That didn't go well." While Donald Trump was running for president, former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin went on Today to talk to Matt Lauer and Savannah Guthrie about the Iowa caucus. Seemingly out of the blue, Guthrie brought up Palin's recent comments about her son Trek, who had been arrested for assault. On the campaign trail for Trump, Palin said that Trek suffers from PTSD. She then appeared to place blame on the Obama administration.
They have to look at him and wonder, do you know what we go through? Do you know what we're trying to do to secure America?
In the Today interview, Guthrie referenced that speech, and Palin emphatically denied blaming Obama, then scolded the show for asking about her son.
You guys brought me here to talk about Iowa politics and the caucus tonight, not to talk about my kids. And that was a promise.
She didn't stop there.
But as things go in the world of media, you guys don't always keep your promises, evidently.
Before the interview ended, Lauer called her out for incorrectly stating the host had broken promises.
There were no specific promises made about content of the interview, only that this would be your first interview since you endorsed Donald Trump.
After Kanye West made his infamous comment during a televised Hurricane Katrina benefit,
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
The rapper appeared on Today with Matt Lauer to discuss it. During the segment, Lauer played a clip of President Bush reacting to West's words.
I resent it. It's not true. And it was one of the most disgusting moments of my presidency.
The show then cut to a clip of Lauer asking West to respond to Bush's comments, and West conceded.
In a moment of emotion, to peg someone or to call a name or peg someone as a racist is not, it's just not right.
Oddly, Lauer played the clip of Bush again, but this time without sound, instructing West to watch his face.
Just look at him. I mean, this is the most emotional he got during my entire 3.5-hour interview with him.
Lauer then asked West what he would say to Bush if they were face to face, but West didn't take kindly to the stunt.
I don't have to do the TV stuff with me. This is reality. This is the real thing going on. This is, you know what I'm saying?
West then asked everyone on the set to be quiet before he discussed past mistakes. Self-proclaimed White House whistleblower Omarosa Manigault-Newman and Today's Show anchor Savannah Guthrie both brought their A-game to a 2018 interview. As Guthrie quickly spit out questions about the Trump administration, the media-savvy Omarosa wasn't about to let herself be cut off. The results were tense, to say the least.
Wait, Savannah. Often?
Who is the they in the tape? You can't ask a question and then ask another question without my answer.
Guthrie repeatedly asked Omarosa if she thought Trump lies often, to which the author eventually replied, absolutely. As her guest elaborated, Guthrie interrupted to ask pointedly why she would choose to work for a liar, and Omarosa didn't seem to like it.
Savannah, slow down. I'm going to ask your question. Don't worry, I'm here. I've got all the time. So you don't have to ask 10 questions in 1 second. It's okay.
The choppy cadence of the interview continued. Guthrie kept interrupting with critical questions about her guest's actions. Omarosa kept patronizing the veteran anchor, controlling the pace of the interview. It was uncomfortable to watch.
They said I can't go. It became false imprisonment. Calm down. And the other part of this is...
For what it's worth, ex-Today host Megyn Kelly later defended Guthrie.
Poor Savannah, she handled it beautifully, but Omarosa, you know, she approaches a lot of these interviews like she's being attacked with every question.
Yeah, well, look,
and she's not being attacked.
Savannah Guthrie admitted to Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live that if she could redo one interview on Today, it would be a 2012 conversation with Khloe Kardashian. Still new to the job, she said she felt obligated to ask Kardashian the big paternity question.
I didn't really want to ask it because it was kind of like probing and personal and intrusive.
Guthrie said she kept delaying to the point where she could hear the crew counting down to the commercial break. Then finally, she squeezed in the question.
I think we're out of time. I was going to ask nothing more to say about what people said about who your father, your biological father. I don't know who my daddy is, I guess. Yes, you do.
Guthrie told Cohen that while it was embarrassing, Kardashian was lovely to her after the fact.
Other people ran down the stairs going, what just happened? How did you ask her for 3 seconds, who's your father?
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.